everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others that are focused on various destinations. Welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're really excited to be here in this group tonight to talk to you about why it is a good decision for you as a consumer to book your destination wedding through a travel agent. So we have a lot of information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight. We're going to give you our top 3 reasons why we think it's a great decision for you to book your destination wedding through an agent. But we also would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, feel free at any point during this video session to drop those in the comment section, and we will be happy to come back and answer as many of those as we can get through at the end of the video. We are using StreamYard to go live tonight, and StreamYard might ask you to approve it to display your username and profile picture. Just know that you can decline that permission and you can still post your comments anonymously, and we'll be happy to talk with you that way too. So I'm joined tonight by 2 of our marvelous agents. Ladies, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And if you would just take a second to tell us your name, how long you've been with the agency, and the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a destination wedding.
My name is Michelle Bernard. I've been with the agency almost 6 years, and you can contact me at michelle.bernard@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, my name is Earrig, and I've been with the agency since July. I'm new, but I have a lot of experience with destination weddings, planning with my family and friends. You can reach me at vette@marvelousmousetravels.com.
And again, my name is Ginger. I have been with the agency just over 3 years. And the best way to get in touch with me is to visit my blog, which is gingermmt.com. So, whenever you're planning a wedding, particularly a destination wedding, there are a whole lot of moving parts. There are a whole lot of things to think through. And obviously, weddings, no matter where you get married, whether you're planning a destination wedding or a local wedding, they can get very expensive. And so I think maybe one of the main reasons that people are sometimes hesitant to book their destination weddings through a travel agent might be because they assume that a travel agent is going to charge them a fee to help plan their destination wedding. But that actually is not the case. And so the first reason that we want to share with you tonight about why it's a smart decision for you to book your destination wedding through a travel agent is that it's actually free. You are not going to pay any more to book that wedding through a travel agent than you would to book it on your own. So ladies, let's explain to people kind of how that works, because I'm sure if you hear something's free, you're kind of automatically skeptical of that. Is it really? What's the catch? So let's explain to people how it's free.
When you book any trip in a destination wedding, the vendor already, whoever you're booking it through, they've already put a travel agent fee into that price. So you're going to pay for an agent and just not receive the services.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it that way, if you're booking that destination wedding on your own, you actually are paying for a service that you're not taking advantage of. So you're doing all of the work, you're handling all of the stress of all of that yourself, when really you could have had someone in your corner kind of taking all of that, for you. And again, that's the case for any destination. So whether we're talking about a theme park vacation or a cruise or just a regular all-inclusive vacation that's not a wedding, like that's the case with any vendor. And so any vacation you're planning, even if you're, looking at things well beyond your destination wedding, maybe you're looking at, your first theme park vacation once you have a family or something like that, keep that in mind, because that same principle is true for any destination. So that's our top reason. It is free. You're already paying that travel agent fee regardless. So you might as well get the benefit of the service that you're already paying for. So reason number 2 is that agents are experts. Okay. So let's explain kind of what benefits the consumer, how the expertise of an agent can benefit a consumer.
Well,
Well,
I think, oh, I'm sorry, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
We know where to find the great deals, where the best deals are. I think that's reason enough.
Yeah, especially with a wedding, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of destination weddings, the locations, the resorts will offer free things to the bride and groom.
Mhm.
Um, and if you don't know that, you may not, they're not, may not just offer them to you. So
Mhm.
you could get a free room for yourself. You
Mhm.
can get a free basic wedding or tropical wedding so that you're getting part of that wedding for free. And then you can add onto it. And some resorts offer you, um, incentives for the people that you book. So you get, something to put towards, you might earn more things towards your wedding that you can use.
Mhm.
And if you don't know this and you just go pick any resort, not every resort is the same and not every bride and groom is the same. So you
Mhm.
have to talk with them to figure out, do they want a resort that is um, happening at nighttime, or do they want something that's low key and quiet? What type of crowd are they looking? Do they have kids
Mhm.
going? Is it adult only? There's a
Mhm.
lot of components that go into it, and if you
Mhm.
don't know, then you may not be happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I mean, obviously, just like with anything in life, there are kind of varying degrees of quality that you can get with a resort too. You might have something that looks great online, but then you show up and it's not at all what you were expecting it to be, whereas an agent is going to know that. Many of our agents travel to the destinations that they book for brides and grooms regularly. So,
Right.
they know the ins and outs. And like Michelle was saying, kind of the different personality of the resort and can match the
Mhm.
best resort with the couple, and
We
what
all
they
know
have
that
in mind.
people put pictures up, and
Yeah.
what you see and what you get may be two different things. And a lot of us do
Mhm.
travel there often, and we tour them and we go over them so that we know, does the beach have seaweed,
Hmm.
or is it in a good area? Is it
Hmm.
um, on the beach? Actually, can you
Yeah.
see, there's so many different things that people will read and not know, um, the room
Yeah.
categories. And
Right.
there's just so many components that it can make somebody who's, planning the wedding overwhelmed
Hmm.
already. They're already overwhelmed. Um, a lot of destination wedding people are people who are busy professional people.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they don't have the time to sit there and stake out which, resort they want to be at and what everything has. And, this is your wedding day. Most people have been dreaming about where their wedding is going to be. So they don't want any, hiccups in it.
Right.
Exactly. I think sometimes people forget about the different seasons as well. Is
Hmm.
it warm enough to have a destination wedding in Mexico, or factors that come in that where we would have that experience, and we could, tell you if that's a good idea to go in January,
Yeah.
or if it's a better idea to go in, April or May. So I think
Absolutely.
that's definitely a factor. I think the simplicity, like you were saying too, is such a big factor. Do you want something intimate? I
Hmm.
mean, I know from experience, just with my sister's wedding, my parents were inviting their coworkers and people that you don't even know. And I think with the destination wedding, it's a more intimate setting. It's more simple, and it's more you. It's a
Hmm.
personal, yeah, we want, our aunts and uncles to come, but, my mom's coworker, maybe not so much. So, but,
So many
I
gifts.
think,
Right.
it just, it happens. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
It gives you a
Another
nice out.
I think about those things. Yes.
Another thing that's been happening, that a lot of people don't realize, is because of COVID and all these weddings that have been bumped, and there's more
Hmm.
destination weddings, a lot of these resorts are booked up or
Hmm.
booking up, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no availability even into 2022. So
Hmm.
you have to be open and know where to look and what to look for, because a lot of
Hmm.
these resorts are booked up. And if you're bringing, you know, 50 people, how many rooms is that going to be taken out of the resort? And
Mhm.
other weddings are going on at the same time. So a lot of
Mhm.
a lot of resorts only do 2 to 4 weddings a day. They don't
Mhm.
do weddings all day long. Because they have a staff, your wedding staff that
Mhm.
caters to you. They're not going to overwhelm themselves with
Right.
weddings. So there's only a couple weddings a day that are done at these resorts. So that kind of, limits what they can do. So
Mhm.
that's another thing you have to keep in mind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And your agent can find that out for you.
Mhm.
How many people you're planning, they can talk to the resort, they can kind
Mhm.
of work all of those details out and you're
We have
not
people that we can
surprised. Yeah.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not just an email address.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. And that kind of leads to reason number 3, which is just that it is less stress on you. You're already planning a lot. You've got to pick out a dress and,
Mhm.
all of this kind of stuff. You've got to decide who's going to be invited. That was like the biggest point of contention for our wedding because like we both knew a lot of people and we
Mhm.
were like, "Oh my goodness, this guest list is astronomical." So like there's stress with that. There's stress over budget and
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff like that. So if you have some things that you can delegate to someone else, to a travel professional who does this all the time, then you get to focus more on the fun stuff, like how I'm going to do my hair and makeup and
Where
all of that
I'm
kind of
gonna
stuff.
get married at, on the beach or in the
Yeah.
garden.
Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. And I will say, Michelle brought up a really good point about COVID. COVID was something that nobody saw coming, and a lot of
Mhm.
people I know. I personally had a destination wedding booked for a client who was supposed to get married in Mexico, and then everything shut down. The world shut down. International travel was not happening, and so rather than her having to sort through cancellation policies and talk to the resort and the vendor and everything and deal with all of that herself, all she did was she emailed me and she was like, "Tell me what this means for us."
Mhm.
I sorted through all of that for her,
Mhm.
got refunds processed and everything else too. And so, that's something that if the unforeseen happens that nobody could have predicted would come down the pike, you have someone who you can reach out to, that is someone that and that
Mhm.
knows you, that can kind of help you with all of that stuff too.
Plus
um
with the, everything opening back up, all the
mhm.
policies are changing daily.
Yes.
So, daily we get emails about the new, what destination has got new policies opening up,
Hmm.
what you can and can't do, what you need to do to go over there. There's been a lot of people who have gone to, Hawaii, and when they were doing the COVID testing and not,
Hmm.
they weren't reading what they were
Yeah.
supposed to do, and they were getting over there and denied entry.
Hmm.
So they were either losing a day of their vacation, their whole vacation, they had to come back to the mainland, get tested at the proper place, and then maybe go back if they're lucky, but they're paying for that extra flight.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they don't know all the protocols and how they're changing daily that we do, that we can contact, say, hey, you guys are leaving in 5 days. This is what you need to do,
Hmm.
and kind of guide them on that. So,
Yeah.
it's just added more stress to it, knowing
Hmm.
all that stuff. And if you have a destination wedding with 30 rooms, 2 people in a room, that's a lot of people to keep up
Hmm.
with, to have asking you a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And on the top, trying to plan and remember what you're supposed to take, and,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
It's a great
Mhm.
point. And it's different island to island. Like in the Caribbean, for instance, the entry requirements are completely different for St. Lucia than they are for Jamaica.
Right.
And so you do need someone who knows all of that and
Mhm.
who, is
Which
able to
one do you have
advise.
to have
Yeah.
travel insurance? Which ones don't?
Right.
Which ones do you have to have the vaccine? Which one don't?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that changes, and it
Yeah.
changes daily. I mean, every morning you wake up with a new email. You're
Yeah.
like,
So true.
okay,
This is life now. Okay, great. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
let's go and see who I've got going there.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you definitely don't want to have to deal with all of that stress yourself. And even if you're saying, well, I'm not planning my destination until COVID is a distant memory, I understand that, but there's still, could be things
A
that
lot
that
of
pop
things
up. Yeah, a lot of things that pop up that maybe you weren't anticipating, and your agent can kind of be there to help walk you through all of that, so that you don't have to deal with the stress.
Mhm.
So, ladies, I'm going to ask you a fun question now, because we've been talking about stress, which isn't all that fun. But what is your favorite venue for a destination wedding?
So my favorite venue, the people I like to book the most destination weddings with is Sandals and Beaches,
Mhm.
because I think that the couple get more from them, so they get, that free tropical introductory wedding. They can earn free rooms. You got a lot for everybody to do while they're there.
Mhm.
And if you've ever seen their weddings, they're just beautiful. And
Beautiful.
they'll, if you want to get married in the garden, they make it happen. If you want to get married, you know, on the beach, they make it happen. They make it happen wherever you want. So
Mhm.
that's my the destination or the venue that I use the most,
Mhm.
because I just think that they get much more out of it.
Yeah.
I think for me, especially with COVID and the protocols, I've been seeing a lot of local destinations like Key West. I think
Mhm.
sometimes we forget that we have some beautiful beaches, right in our backyard. So I have to, because I was just recently there. I'm going to have to say definitely Key West. I think there's so many excursions that you can do. It's romantic. I mean, the water is just so
Beautiful.
beautiful. And um, for me, you're taking out that guessing game. Is that country going to let me in? Or, kind of adding to the less stress. I think some local destinations are
Mhm.
definitely um, you know, for a lot of people that are, looking for something, not too far away,
Mhm.
definitely Key West, Siesta Keys is also beautiful as well. I think we forget about, our own country.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would have to agree with Michelle. I think that the Sandals and Beaches weddings, it's just those resorts are beautiful. And it's
mhm.
really like, I think
One
it's the
stop.
easiest way to do it. You know what
Mm,
I mean? Like, it's
mm,
the,
mhm.
and it can be the most economical, because you're really paying for your honeymoon and kind of getting your wedding for free. And
Mhm.
so, that's a really tempting deal. And like I mentioned, I did not have personally a destination wedding. I got married in my hometown, but having done all of the stress of that, if I had it to do over again, I
Yep.
Mhm.
think I might have gone the destination wedding route.
Because you don't have
Mm,
to bring in the outside vendors, and
right.
you don't have to look for, I mean, you show up the
Yeah.
days
And it's
before
done.
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
They give you the
Mhm.
cake tasting, they give you food tasting, they show you where, this is where you want to go.
Hmm.
Everything's right there. So it's like you're not having to worry about getting people ahead of time. They're going to show up. Your photographer's going to show up. And
Hmm.
I'm in a lot of wedding groups, and I have seen so many people say that their photographer or their makeup artist and their
Yes.
hairstylist have canceled on them just days before
Yeah.
their wedding. That's not going
Right.
to happen at these destinations,
Right.
because
I I
they have.
think everybody forgets too that your wedding, if you're not doing a destination wedding, you're doing a lot of a la carte.
Yeah.
Right.
And with these destination weddings, you have these packages that you can
Hmm.
choose from. I know for me, I did kind of like a hybrid destination wedding when we got married. We actually got married in the city of Chicago on New Year's Eve. And we had everybody, yeah, go downtown and stay at the hotel. We got the group rates. We were able to like have the presidential suite, all of that. But the packages are really what sold me because of the less stress. They're like, you have so many to choose from. You can customize all you want or don't customize at all. So definitely, for me, I wouldn't change a thing.
Hmm.
Destination all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do destination.
Right. And too, like Michelle just mentioned, that literally happened in a group that I'm in today. Someone posted, hey, it is our wedding day. Our makeup artist did not show up. Is
Oh,
there
wow.
anyone who can come and do my makeup for my wedding? We have 7 girls. And thankfully, someone did show up at the last minute and bail them out, but that doesn't always happen, and
Photographers.
yeah.
I'm seeing
Wow.
it daily in these groups. People are just, for whatever reason, they're,
Yeah.
they're sick or they're scared or,
Mhm.
whatever it may be, but the bride's freaking out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
It's bad.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
add a stress you don't need.
That's
Yes.
exactly right. So I don't think that we have had any questions come through. Just keep in mind this video will stay in this group long after it's no longer live. So if you're coming across this after the live portion has ended, you can still post those comments, and we still do monitor these videos for comments after they're no longer live. So we can always come back at a later time and we can connect you with an agent, or we can answer any questions that you post as well. But thank you all so much for joining us and watching with us tonight. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to get information about a wedding or any other trip from any of the agents that you heard from tonight, if you joined us a little late, our contact information is all back at the beginning of the video. Next week, we are going to be live in our Universal Orlando group, and we will be giving an overview of that destination, which is a lot of fun. If you are into Harry Potter or Jurassic World or just love roller coasters, you're going to have, a lot of fun at Universal Orlando. Keep in mind that when you work with one of our agents, our services are completely free to you when you book through us, and it is the same price to book through us as it is to book directly with those vendors. We hope you enjoyed watching with us tonight, though, and we hope to see you again next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.